This is another of the ink drop papers that I used, but this is really quite dry. So I think we'll get a different pattern with the circles. So I'm going to start with the Wild Plum. Let's see what happens to it. Looks like it's making a nicely edged pattern as it's extending outward. And I'll start one over here of the butterscotch. And maybe a drop of alcohol. I'm trying to stay pretty far away because I don't want them to join each other at this point. One thing I love about the inks is that when you add a new ink on top of a dried ink layer, it dissolves the ink below, pushes it out to the edge, and puts in the new ink color. So that's something that one doesn't ordinarily see in other types of paints. All right, our inks have been drying for a little bit here. It's not totally dry, but I'm going to try to nest another color inside, see what happens. So this is the stream, put it inside the yellow one here. And we'll see how far this one expands. You can see those beautiful dark edges. Kind of looks like the eye of a peacock tail feather, which is something very near and dear to my heart. And on this one, I'm going to take a drop of alcohol and put it in here. With the alcohol and the ink, you always want to give it a little time before coming at it again because you don't know how far it's going to spread. And we're getting some really pretty effects in this one. So these are all back to wet and wet, and you can see the first one, the butterscotch, absolutely took over the circle that was made by the alcohol. And now as I'm just adding more alcohol into it, we're getting some very soft, subtle wet and wet patterning there. And that just completely blended away, so we didn't get to keep the pattern. But that doesn't mean we couldn't try it again and see if it stays. Depending on how much ink or alcohol is on the paper, you get very different textures. This is just alcohol. And a little drop of the blue, or stream, and Wild Plum.